Okay, so area of a sector. Remember, if we're doing an area of a circle, the area formula is pi r squared, right? But the area of a circle would be this whole full circle. And so we would use pi r squared. Since we're not finding the area of the entire circle, or just this piece, we want this piece times pi r squared. Okay, so the way we find this piece is we need to find the measure of this arc AB. And since we have this angle at C, okay, is 70, this 70 is an inscribed angle, meaning its vertex is at the edge of the circle. So think of the megaphone thing. This opens up wider and this opens up wider, and it cuts off that arc. So the ratio of that angle, 70 degrees, to that arc is 1 to 2, which means this guy right here is 140 degrees. Okay, so it's double. Which also means, by the way, that this central angle right in here is also 140 degrees. Okay, all right. So the formula is whatever that central angle or that arc is, I'm going to just call it X for right now, out of 360 degrees, okay? And now that's not the full, no, let me finish the full thing, okay? So that'll be times pi r squared. That's the formula to find the area of a sector. I'm just going to do S for sector, okay? So this is the formula for a full circle, but we're only taking a portion of it. And the portion that we're taking is just this 140 out of the whole 360, 140 out of a whole 360, okay? All right, so moving forward, that's the formula. It should be on your formula sheet, and here we go. So we're gonna do area of the sector, okay, and we know that that angle is 140 degrees, or that arc is 140 degrees out of 360 times pi. Now, let's find out what the heck that radius is. Do they give us the radius? Oh, they do, right down here. OA is 9, and OA is this length right here, and that is 9. So we're going to put in 9 squared, okay? And just be careful, if you look at all of these answer choices, they already have pi in them. So when you're putting this into the calculator, you don't need to put the pi in. You're just going to do alpha y equals, put 140 over 360, and then times it by 9 squared. Okay, all right, so if you pause me, go ahead and do that, and you should end up with, now when I did it, I got 63 over 2, and then I'm supposed to put pi next to it, right? Well, that's not any of the choices, and then I was like, So all I did was I took my calculator, and I just did 63 divided by 2, and that gave me 31.5. So it's answer choice 4. Okay? All right, I want you to look at the next one, pause me, do that question, then unpause me and see if you got the answer right. All right, so that's what I got. It says to the nearest 10th. So I'm going to take that final answer and I am going to write 10.1, okay, because the 10th place is right here, and you can see the number after that is 5 or higher, so that rounds that up. And the other thing is they said to the nearest square inch, so I'm going to write inches squared, and there's your final answer. All right, so why don't you read this question, pause me, go ahead and do it. If you want to draw a little picture, go for it, and then unpause me and see how you did. All righty, and there is your final answer. And because it said to the nearest square inch, I knew that when I was doing the computations here that I would be putting pi into my calculator. Okay, and then also just FYI, to the nearest square inch, that means to the ones place. So if you ever see nearest square inch or the nearest foot or the nearest meter, all of those are asking you to round to the ones place. And don't forget the inches squared when you get to your final answer there. All right, same deal. Why don't you go ahead and do this one? Work it out, pause me, and then turn it back on and see how you did. All righty, there's your answer. Same thing again, just like the last one, nearest square mile, you're definitely going to be putting pi in your calculator, and to the nearest square mile, again, just remember that that just means to the ones place. And that 3 did not bring up my 5, and that's why it's 1285. Okay, so the last one, pause me, go ahead and do it, and see what you end up getting. All right, well, guess what? I got this one wrong because I did not read carefully. Okay, if you look at the sector they're asking you to find the area of, it's this one over here. However, Ms. Carter looked at this and was like, 110. Okay, so let's use 110 when we put that over 360, right? Wrong, because this angle is not this angle here, and this is the angle that we need to know. So look at the relationship between this, and you should see that they're both on a straight line, which means if this is 110, this will be 70 because 110 and 170 adds up to 180. Those are supplementary angles. All right, so that means that this is 70. And again, if you look, you see 180 degrees. All right, so when we do this, unlike what I did, we should be doing 70 over 360 and then times by pi. Now, the other thing that was a small trick is that AC is 12. Look at AC, that's a diameter. So remember, the formula says that we have to use the radius. And so then we know that the radius is going to be half of that. So here, this should be 6 squared. Okay, and when we work that all out, I got a 7 with a pi next to it. Answer choice 2.